Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Some people dream of success while you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it! If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Some people dream of success while you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it! If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.
I don't even know what I'm doing right now.
Oh, camera 1, camera 2.
Live stream.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today on BQLive. My name is Jerid Hill.
I'm Eric Dean.
And we are having a lot of technical difficulties today. It's crazy. And what we're doing is we're picking pieces up left and right, so just bear with us. Last week we had some, was it last week?
Yeah, the
weather was all messed up, and this week it's our network, so just bear with us if you don't mind.
We're such pros at this already.
Yeah, I mean, it's our 14th episode, so, whatever. We know what we're doing by now.
You would think.
So, actually, it is our 14th episode.
It is.
Which leads us to this very interesting announcement. And I'm just going to go out and say it if you don't mind.
Go for it.
We've been nationally syndicated.
Is that right?
Yes.
Awesome.
We've been picked up by all the major networks.
Good.
Which, of course, is a lie. So, no, actually, there is an announcement.
There is a small one.
Mr. Eric Dean would like to make.
This is actually my last week with BelQuette. So this is our last BQLive show. So
in this current
format. Right, yeah, as it is right now with the two-man team. We're going to get a cardboard cutout, I think, of me in place. That'll make it easy for you.
Yeah.
I don't do much talking anyway, so about the same. So, yeah, no, this is it, unfortunately, time to move on, I guess. With the baby and everything we just had, most of you already know we have a 4-month-old baby at home, so we have no family or strong family bonds down here in Florida. We just feel it's much easier for us to move back to our hometown for the baby and everything. So that's kind of the plan. It's sad to go. No hard feelings. It's been a great time being here. I really enjoyed the company. So
strange thing is, that's not what you told me.
Yeah, you guys are forcing me out of the
That's not what you told me. You said what you told me was BQLive was getting so big.
Well,
and
you
needed a third seat.
My manager says. Yeah.
And you wanted a very big increase in pay.
Absolutely. I need a trailer.
I mean, much, much more than anybody here combined, probably.
That should be about right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway.
But this I am leaving. But stay tuned. I'm not leaving the industry. You guys aren't going to get rid of me that easily. So I'll still be around a little bit. You'll see me online and stuff floating around. I got some other projects in work, so you guys, once I make the final decision on how we're going to handle things, and I'll make a formal announcement on Facebook and t-shirt forums and all that. So just stay tuned.
Yeah. And so actually, in honor of Eric, this sad announcement, we are going to do Guess the Shirt, but this time
Yay.
we're going to allow Mr. Deem
right.
the honors of Guess the Shirt. So what?
Okay, so today's Guess the Shirt. This one's going to be kind of difficult. I'm a big car guy. Everybody here knows that. A lot of people online know it as well. That I know two things. I know cars and t-shirts is about all my brain can handle. So this is actually a shirt that I made with several different wheels on it. So the Guess the Shirt is, if you can tell me the make and model of one of these wheels, one of these 4 wheels, you have the option of which one you want, if you like or one of the wheels, and you win. I don't know what we win. What do we win?
I don't know. With all our technical difficulties we've been having, I mean, I'm using like paper sheets right now, right?
Yeah, we're kind of
just to keep on track. But they used to do it in the old days, back.
They still do it on the news. They always shuffle their paper. I don't think there's anything on there.
Actually looking at it.
They kind of mumble.
So yeah, in all our attempt to try to mess with this network thing, I forgot. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think? 50 swabs. Why not?
Sure.
Swabs are good. Everybody can use them.
They're universal.
Foam swabs.
Yep.
So you
swabs,
can use them for makeup. You can use them for cleaning.
Yeah, use them for all kinds of stuff.
You can use them for cleaning your printer, and preferably cleaning your printer.
They're pretty expensive to use otherwise. So.
All right. So this show is really more about winging it. Last episode,
not the restaurant.
No, and it really is in honor of Eric Deem. I mean, everything he did around here, he was kind of winging. So we're just gonna wing it.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Great. See, and you guys wonder why I left. I get thrown under the bus as fast as possible.
All right. No, seriously. So we're going to talk today about marketing ideas to help increase your custom t-shirt.
This is a big one.
Sales. And this is not going to be wherewithal, as with all our shows. We can't really dedicate that much time because we'd be dedicating, literally weeks for this type of stuff and repetition and so forth. So, but basically, Eric had put together. We got kind of a couple segments on this, and the first half of it, we're just going to talk about more local type of marketing, or different ideas rather, not necessarily full-blown marketing, but some local ideas as well. And then the second half, maybe we'll move into a little bit of social. Because quite honestly, now everything is really social.
Yeah, nowadays,
right?
Definitely.
I mean, that's the way people interact.
It's not like you're going to spend 20 grand a year in the yellow pages like you used to back in the day.
Yellow pages.
Right, exactly.
You let your fingers do the walking, they said. But yeah, there's not really much of that anymore, is there?
I would hate to be a rep in that industry.
No. Yeah. No, it's yeah. I mean, it'd be a hard sell.
Oh yeah, that's tough. That'd be tough.
All right. So anyway, one of the things that I guess we can start with is, you need to find a niche market.
Absolutely.
Right. And basically, the niche market, you have to find a market that you can fit in, right? One that is whatever you do, you can cater to that market.
Right. Something you should already be familiar with. I wouldn't try to.
Right.
I don't fish, so there's no reason for me to jump into the fishing niche, a hobby or whatever like that to try to approach them. It's not what I know.
Right.
So I think it's best to find a niche that you are already involved with in some form or fashion to really be able to get in there.
Now, I mean, if you're an artist,
sure,
right, and you love drawing a certain type of illustration, a genre or what have you, then obviously that can become your niche.
Absolutely.
I mean, if it's a comic book market, you come up with your own characters. If it's a fishing market, you come up with your own, designs, that kind of stuff. So yeah, there are markets you can get into that you can pretty much go open-ended and go everywhere, but you're not really going to be able to focus, right? And we find that when you focus, particularly in a given area, is usually where you do better, because most of the time you can put all your efforts into that.
There's so many variables.
The majority of your efforts.
With DTG, with all the variables involved, it's nice to be able to kind of narrow that down and be able to structure your business around that one specific niche instead of trying to, you know, make good for everybody. That's very difficult to do in any business model, you know, let alone DTG. So.
Right. Another thing I forgot to mention is at the end of the show, we will be having questions and answers. So if there's anything you have questions on that we talk about throughout the show, you know, near the end, we'll put some time aside for answering those questions. So be sure to go ahead and get in your questions in. If you're on YouTube, just click in, join in on the chat area. If you're on our site, bq.live down at the bottom, chat with us now, I believe it is. Click on that, click on the options, put your name in there so we know who we're talking to. And just like I said, ask any questions or make any comments or any suggestions about anything we're talking about.
Perfect.
All right, so some of those niche markets, you know, you have some listed here as local bands.
Yeah, I mean, like musicians, you know, I did a lot with those kind. I mean, that's a tough market, but you know, I have found like a lot of those smaller little type garage bands that just hit the small little venues, they don't have a lot of capital to buy lots of merchandise, but they have a market to sell to. So being able to attach them and kind of get their provide them with a service that they can't already get, I think it's a great idea. You just hook up with small little venues and concert areas, you know, stages and stuff like that, and hook up with them. And I've done several bands and really liked it. I mean, some cool, crazy artwork too.
Well, you have visit local clubs, music venues. So you're scouting out bands. Would you approach them?
Absolutely.
How do you do that?
I would actually go. I mean, I would probably go to the actual venue and see who's playing. You know, see if they've already have merchandise in that way. I mean, if you are, like, I have friends that are musicians and bands and stuff, so it's easier for me to just say, hey, you know, you go to the club every Tuesday for open mic night or whatever. Who needs some help? Who could use some merchandising and some products to sell to their fans? Okay, well, band A needs that, but band C doesn't. So okay, well, I'm gonna focus on band A and let them know what we can do for them, what we can provide, how they can make money from it. Set up a website with them so that they're not actually carrying any inventory. We print on demand for them type of thing. You know, it's a good way for them to market themselves.
Sure.
And then for you to make some money. So.
Well, you're marketing t-shirts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously t-shirts, you know, I'm not saying this is necessarily DTG, but if you have, you know, some way to even, you know, print on pics.
Oh yeah,
you can on DTG, but it's probably not real durable as they're playing it. So you might sublimate depending on the material.
Good idea. Don't you have the
UV printers?
Didn't you make for like Christmas or something? Didn't you get a little thing to make pics?
Oh yeah, just a little pick punch.
Yeah, that's cool. So.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. So yeah, you could sublimate sheets of
poly.
Like a plastic sheet, and then clip them out and, you know, sell them.
There's so many.
Pics. So there's different things. You gotta have to start thinking differently, because they're going to be throwing those pics out to fans, right?
Sometimes you got to think outside the t-shirt box.
Yeah.
The proverbial t-shirt box.
So you have local clubs, music venues. So again, you're just trying to, you know, go in there, you know, hand them probably. What would you print a sample? Or just take samples with you?
I don't know if it depends on how strong of an online presence they already have. If they have a strong following or whatever, maybe I'd go on to their Facebook page, get a you know, download the image of their band's logo, print it out for them, and say, here's what we can do. Sure. You know, with the prices and everything. Oh, and you know, and if some venues might not like that, they might not like you soliciting the bands individually. So work with the promoter, you know, and see if maybe we can do a global encompassing thing of every band that comes through this venue. They see if we can offer them.
Yeah, because the promoter might be already
make it up
on top of it and be doing his own thing, their own thing, and you're coming in treading on their territory.
You just got to watch that a little bit. You might start there and work your way down. Actually, you probably would want to start with the venue, with the vendor, or not the owner of the venue, or the promoter, whoever it is, and talk to them first. Make sure that you're not stepping on anybody's toes before you just start soliciting within their facility.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that's always a good thing to do.
Okay. So then we have, you mentioned social clubs like Masonic Lodge, Red Hat, Book Club. Alcoholics Anonymous. I told them I didn't think that was probably a wise idea.
They wear
to
shirts.
Be walking around with Alcoholics Anonymous on there, because, you know,
it could be like anonymous. Sober for 20 years type of thing. You know, part of their like the 12-step thing. I mean, it could be. I'm not saying you should walk around saying I'm an alcoholic. Okay, I'm a meth addict. Yeah. But you know, I mean, I think that there are. I mean, any environment, or in my opinion, any group of people that's in a social environment are sellable. That's a market to sell to, regardless of what their interests are. If it's something that interests you, and you can provide them with tools to either expand the brand name or to make some money for themselves, why not?
Well, what did you do? What were you? Did you have a niche market?
Well, I worked with a niche market online. I worked with online communities, with forums.
Okay.
Is what my initial business model was with DTG. So what I did was I went online. I created a whole PayPal buy now button generator thing where administrators of forums or online communities would come onto my site. They would upload the image that they wanted of the shirt they wanted to sell, and then it would, due to some calculations, choosing what they want or whatever, would spit out a cost. So I would tell them that the shirt would cost $15 for me to print and ship it to their member, and then they would add a markup to that. So most people would add about $5 to it, and then PayPal would spit out a button worth $20. Then they could take that, and it's all in BB code and HTML, so they could take it and put it on wherever they want, Facebook, wherever their group resides, and then they sell shirts that way. And then when an order was placed, all of the funds would go directly to the forum owner's PayPal account, so that the receipt from the member would look like they handled it all. And then PayPal would split it, send me my $15 and the order details, and then I would print and ship it for the customer. And I did that for a long time, actually. The problem that I had with it was, as we all know, we've dealt with it in some other forums, most of the big forums that have hundreds of thousands of members are owned by like one of three companies. So getting through that was very difficult, but I worked with a lot of local communities, a lot of like clubs and stuff like that. Again, all of these social groups also have some type of an online community as well. You know, they're going to be a Facebook group or something that they're going to already have. So that's what I did, and then I went retail, which I should have stayed where I was. Retail was not a good fit for my business model, and I didn't change my business model. I should have reevaluated. This goes back to one of our other shows. I thought I knew, didn't need to put another business plan together, thought it'd be okay, and I really should have put a business plan together again with all the new expenses and things that were coming into play. But it is what it is.
I know for me, you know, mine wasn't really niche because it was really more, you know, in the screen printing realm, you know, really it was, you know, business on the street. You know, people come in, they want this logo, they want their logo, they want this and that, you know. So when the DTG was introduced, it was really, the niche, I guess, could have been small run type of idea, but it was still kind of broad.
Yeah, you were very general public.
Right. But by that time I was already, you know, I'd already been established for quite a few years, so it didn't really matter. You know, I already had a customer base. But, you know, when it comes to, you know, I look back now and I say, well, I probably should have focused in on one given area and then ran with that. Still allowed for the others, you know, because I could still service my current customer base. But, you know, again, for, you know, at that time, though, really it was just more a business like everybody else's. And so I stood out only in quality and customer service, that kind of stuff. That's how, you know, I really stood out. But so I look now and I say, yeah, I probably would have done things a little different. Now, some of these, you know, what you have here, I mean, I've printed for pretty much everybody here.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know, so but I never really focused in one area. And if you do niche marketing, that really is what you really want to do, more so than not.
Well, you start to learn more about what your niche wants to. You'll be able to really dial in your business model for their needs, as opposed to trying to fit everybody's wants and needs. And with DTG, that's very difficult. With screen printing, you have an embroidery and almost every other decorating technique. It's not nearly as detrimental to be able to just do it all for one type of mentality. But with DTG, we all know that it's so imperative to make sure you have everything in order, you know, to be successful with any of it. You know, so.
Okay, so on the social clubs, you know, I mean, again, I imagine it's probably still similar to the other areas if you're trying to work your way into it. So we won't really go into a whole lot of that, but, you know, sports clubs, you're talking about intramural soccer, football, little league, bowling, softball leagues, badminton.
Why not?
Horseshoes,
you know,
golf,
cornhole, the cornhole championships.
Car clubs, car guys love to represent their club, and just like their car, they want a customized garment.
Yeah, in the car scene, car clubs are almost like motorcycle gangs.
Yeah,
I mean, there's bitter rivalries between car clubs. You know, it's who's got the best car at this show, who's got the best car, who can do the biggest burnout, whatever the case is. And I mean, it's almost like gangland sometimes. These people get. I mean, everybody's in it for the same thing. We all love each other, but there's definitely that that pride that you have in one's club, you know. And I did a lot of work with car clubs, obviously because I'm the car guy. But people would come to my shop with their Mustang or whatever, and to know that they could get a picture of their Mustang on their shirt to wear in the car show just blew their mind. I mean, they'd pay $30 a shirt like it was nothing. I mean, you're spending these wheels, you know, these are $1,000 a piece. You know, so if you're going to spend that kind of money, what's a $30 T-shirt? They don't care.
Right.
You know, most people that I hang out with that have in the big car scene, I had more money in my car than I paid for my car. Not the current car, but my old show car. You know, it's not hard to drop $100,000 into a car. I mean, it goes quick if you're in the right scene.
Have you seen many people want pictures of their cars on shirts?
Yeah.
So
and motorcycles.
Right there, yeah.
The motorcycle guys and the car guys, they love it. Even boat, like down here, the boat guys. Because boat customization is huge down here. I mean, there's a big money in custom upholstery and stereo systems for their boats and stuff like that, the big cigarette boats and all that. And I mean, they want to see that too.
Sure.
You spend that kind of money, you want to wear it and show it off.
Absolutely.
You know.
So again, what we're doing right now is we're just kind of giving some ideas on the niche market.
Yeah,
right?
various
you know,
niche
different
markets.
And there's obviously a lot more.
Yeah,
than this,
it's never ending.
Right. So you know, small businesses, most small businesses don't have a need for hundreds of shirts, so DTG does work well for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, again, we've talked about this in the past where I believe we did, where the economy, whenever the economy kind of went down in the past so many years, people were not buying the large volumes that they used to. And so DTG was actually a nice fit because, you know, people were able to invest in smaller quantities and you could charge a little bit more for that. And so they were investing in the smaller quantities because they needed it, but they really didn't have the extra money to go out and buy the larger volumes they were used to. So it kind of actually created a very good market for DTG. Yeah. And that was really on the, you know, in the beginning stages of DTG as it started to grow some years into it. So we have, let's see, parents. Everybody, you know, parents, they always want to show off, right?
They want the school's logo with their kid who's on the basketball team, his number, photo of him on it or something. They eat that alive.
Well, we have I did have a customer who, now this was back when I was printing, and he would go around to the schools, and he actually was able to he was a photographer, and he was able to work with all the different schools, the local schools to him, and he would actually take very high quality photos of football, you know, basketball, whatever their sports they were playing. And then he would post them out on a website, and after the show, after their event, the parents could go out there, and they could actually they can order prints, they can order t-shirts, they can order anything they want off of his site, and they were all new photos. And then of course he would take them down after so much time. I don't know if it was until the next game or what, maybe. But that gave them the ability to keep content fresh.
That's awesome.
And people were like, oh, I better get that now before it goes down.
Because when I was in the event business,
I mean, it was licensed to do that though through the schools, right.
Whatever the high school association or whatever.
It's like you know, like mascots and stuff. They're usually owned by booster clubs and that kind of stuff. So whatever he did, he always had permission to do it. And
did he give a kickback to the schools or anything like that?
I'm not sure. I didn't get, but that's a good idea though.
Yeah, that way they'll promote it that way. I'm sorry. When I was doing events, we did marathons and triathlons and stuff like that, and we worked with a company called like Marathon Photos or something like that. And what they would do is every single person that come across the finish line, they would take a photo of them, and everybody's wearing a number, and that's how they're associated when they come across the finish line, so we can time them and everything correctly. And you'd go onto their website and you just put in the number you wore, and you'd pull up all the images of you all across I mean, you're talking about 26 miles worth of course here that people are running, and they have photographers set up all over the course. And then that's me at the halfway point. I think, you know, I want that, and then I want this, and put on a coffee mug or whatever. I mean, and they eat it, man. They do really, really well with that, and they don't charge us anything. When we would they would come on. I'd have to make a little spot for them at the finish line area, so they would have a good area for it. And they'd bring up like a backdrop and everything with like the sponsors' logos and all, and people would take a picture of it with their time and all that stuff, and they sold a lot of. And then there was a engraving company that would come set up a little tent, and everybody gets the medal. Like now the Olympics, they get the finisher's medal or whatever. And on the back of it, there's usually a little spot where people would write the date or their time or whatever, and they would sit there and engrave them on site, and I mean like $20, $30 a piece.
Wow.
And engraving them. And when you have some events, I've done events with 30,000 people in them. So 30,000 people are going to get processed in about 6 hours. That's a lot of people to get through, and that you're going to be, possibly getting some sales from. So even if you're not directly associated with the event, you can still set up a booth and sell niche-related items. Mm-hmm. I'm not a runner, but I put on a lot of running events. So having, funny sayings that runners would like in a booth with a bunch of t-shirts, people would buy that.
Sure.
So.
Okay. We won't go too much more into this, but we'll just say friends and family, birthdays, family reunions, anniversaries, hobbies, of course, car related stuff could be part of that, but approach others in your hobby. So specifically a hobby that you have an interest in, because you're going to know it.
That's the easiest way to do it. Yeah, because you know what your hobby, what the people in it already like.
Right.
Unless you're brand new to the hobby. But I don't care what it is. If you like making quilts, there's quilting communities out there that sell too.
I printed for people, and they cut up and
make quilts out
of it. Yeah. So tributes to
that's
family members that passed away.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. It's really cool.
Yeah. So then you have sponsorships, provide designs or printing services for discounted rates or free for promotional value within your niche. I'm a little at odds with that. I'm not saying it can't work, but I think it's not just. I don't think it's just one size fits all, because it's been my experience that when you just give it away and you just put your logo somewhere on the shirt, it doesn't really bring anything back.
I wasn't meaning necessarily like that per se. So I sponsored when my very first clothing line was called Drift Mafia, which was a car. We go back to the car thing, but it was a drifting. The cars are sliding around. So I'd go to I'd go to the drifting events, and I sponsored a couple of the drivers. Mm-hmm. So they put huge sticker, my logo, on their side of their car, and they're wearing my shirt. So then all of a sudden they're famous within the scene. So they say, oh, Bob is wearing Drift Mafia. He's got Drift Mafia over his car. Let me go check out Drift Mafia. Yeah. That's how it worked for me. Now, putting my name on the back of a T-shirt with 300 other sponsors for some festival is not, I don't find that to be a very efficient way or a successful way to sponsor. Right. I was meaning more like an actual personal sponsorship. If you do stuff for the urban community and you have a rapper who you can get to wear your stuff on stage or at give it to them. Let them have whatever they want. That's more what I was meaning as far as sponsorship stuff.
Yeah, and it's not that giving discounts and printing shirts and putting your logo on it can't work. It's not that. It's just a lot of times people think that you have this broad stroke that you can just brush and it works for everything.
Oh yeah.
And it's been my experience more often than not.
I agree.
It doesn't work. It's kind of like email marketing, right?
Yeah. Just a mass
email
mail.
Marketing, mass mail marketing, those kind of things. If you returned about 0.5% on your leads, or like so say you got 10,000 and you return 0.5%, you'd actually be doing well. They say it's much more than that, but it's not. And of course, the message you have, all that makes a difference.
Of course.
But it's been more often than not, they're going in the spam folder.
Oh yeah.
Or they're just reporting it as spam. Those kind of things.
Unsubscribe.
Right. So we try not to advocate anything like that, just simply because it could be more problematic for you in the end.
And they're not free.
No,
so
they're
you
definitely
got
not
10,000. You want to make sure they're good leads that you're sending to. We used to do postcard mailings. And I had 20, 30, 40,000 on the list, at 20 cents a piece to send them out, plus the cost to print the card, plus the label cost. I mean, it got expensive.
Oh, sure.
And if you're not getting a return on it, it's, you might as well just take your money and light it on fire.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so just as a reminder, we still do have a question and answer session coming up. I don't know if anybody's asking any questions yet.
We got a winner or anything
we
yet?
still have guess the shirt.
I didn't figure. This one's a tough one, guys.
Only
car nerds like me would know this one probably. Yeah. So.
All right, so there are some other things here that Actually Eric put this down. He says, once you determine what markets to pursue, now you must cater your business model around that market.
Yeah, we touched on that.
Perceived value allows you to make higher margin if the customer feels the product warrants it, and this holds true in every industry and every market. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to, I'm just going to hit a couple points on like social marketing, because social marketing is really where we're at today.
That's the big one, yeah.
Right. I mean, again, there's not really a yellow pages to consider anymore. You can go on Craigslist and throw a real quick ad out there. You might actually get some movement, but everybody wants dirt cheap on Craigslist or something like that. eBay is not really a good place for this kind of sales. It's not that it can't work, but it's a lot more
tough.
It's a lot more tough. It's a lot tougher. So anyway, Facebook is obviously the social platform that everybody looks to
today,
day-to-day life. But there's also Instagram. There's Twitter. LinkedIn is really more business to business, but that could still actually serve you well because you're connecting with other businesses, and if you put what you do in there, it could actually lead to some good contacts.
Absolutely,
as well.
because a lot of your executives and higher ups are on LinkedIn that might not know who you are, and all of a sudden they see something come across, and they start trickling down to the people who make decisions. You never know. I don't think there's any bad marketing really in the social area. I mean, you can spend money in the wrong way, but posting up on LinkedIn or Twitter, you can't hurt. It can't hurt.
Yeah, it can't hurt. So, unless you have a really bad message. If you have a really bad message, maybe that might not be too bad, but if done right. So really, I think what happens is when you start to look at all the different types of online marketing, they really need to funnel in to one central area.
I agree.
Okay, so for example, a lot of people want to go point people to their website. That's good, but it's not really the right way to do it when it comes to social marketing, because social marketing, I mean, not a lot of people are going to be able to go to your website and then share your website. Right. The idea is to make it easy for them to share your website.
Right.
So in an effort to do that, one of the things that should be done is, and today the platform is Facebook. Tomorrow it might be something different. So when it comes to Facebook, you want to go out there and you want to create a business page.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So your business page, and on your business page, you're going to make sure that you fill in every bit of information you can. Right? You don't want
all the about us type information.
Right, the about us, everything. And the idea though is you're building the business page, and then from the business page, everything can point to that.
And then they'll leave that to then go to your site to buy product or order whatever.
Right. So when you're on your business page, you have to have a lot of activity.
Yeah, you want to be on it all the time.
So if you have a design, a new shirt, if you're an artist and you have a design and you put it out there, you can put it on there. And the business page is kind of a nice gauge, because when you look at that, if someone's coming out there and they're liking your page, let's say they don't buy, right? But they're liking the page and they're out there, they're, looking at your page specifically, it doesn't mean they won't eventually buy. It just means what you have to offer currently, maybe they don't want.
Right.
But they liked it enough so that they're there.
That's an easy conversion typically then.
Right. Well, because when you go out there and you begin posting more products out on your page, or more ideas or whatever it might be, then it goes into their news feed.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden they see, oh wow, what's this? I like this too.
Or they have a friend that is
and they're sharing it.
And they're sharing it with them. So, hey, did you see this? I know that you're into whatever it is. And these guys have it,
Right. So I'd say
instant. That's what it's like, instant gratification with the social media stuff. As opposed to a website, you have to promote. How are you gonna? The hard part is, you put it up on your website and everything, and then what? I mean, now you still got to go to Facebook or somewhere to promote people to get to your site.
Right.
To know that there's a new design or whatever on there.
Well, the idea is to be able to, if you're not selling, specifically on Facebook, you're taking that and you're transferring it to a sale. Right. You're converting it to a sale. So really, the idea is to bring them in to your Facebook page, not your personal page.
Right.
Right. Because your personal page is really for personal use. They don't want to. a lot of times they don't want to look at that. Now they might become friends with you. I've had that a lot.
Oh, I have too.
I got one page that's got quite a few people on it, and they all of a sudden come to my personal page and want to be friends.
Right.
I usually say yes because I don't want to shun people.
Yeah.
But on the business side, they would be out there and we'll post out certain things. They'll like it and so forth, right? So when you're on your business page, you really want to post as your business, right? Absolutely. You don't want to post as you, because like when you go on your business page, you can actually post either as you or as the business name itself.
Yeah.
So you don't want to post as you, just post as your business. And then from there, you can actually share that, right? If you want to share it to your personal page, fine. You want to share it to a group, like another users group or something like that, then everything should always funnel back to that business page.
I agree.
Right? And then also, one thing I found years ago when I was working a lot with, now things have changed, right? SEO changes all the time.
Yeah.
The way
Google
and Google works,
they hide all their stuff.
Bing, the way they all work, they're constantly changing, and it's whether it's to try to get better algorithms, or is it's better to try to trip people up so they're not used to the same.
I think that's what they do.
And who knows? I mean, it could be any of that.
They've created their own industry.
Yeah, well, they got their niche market,
SEO,
the search engine, right?
Yep.
So when it comes to that, though, what I did was years ago, and the premise still is the same, and it will continue to work. But one of the biggest things is link backs.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so a link back is basically anywhere your website is posted, and it links back to your website.
That's how to get good rankings, too.
That's how you get good rankings. Yeah. That's one of the formulas for good rankings. But it's not something that technically you should be going out there posting everywhere you can, right? Because you really want to try to make it as organic as possible.
Google's smarter than that. They know.
I mean, you can still work on it, but what I did years ago, and it was by fluke, I didn't realize it, and quite a few years ago, I was a member of a forums, online forums, and I eventually changed my screen name. I said, hey, I contacted them, and I had probably well over 1,000 posts at that point. But I changed my screen name, and I said, hey, I said to myself, really, I didn't tell them. Hey, I want to change my signature, because I was opening up a new business, so to speak. Okay. And so I went in there and I changed the link on my signature, and instantly every post I ever did now had
that other link,
this new link. And so it ended up really working in my favor. So I began to rank very high in Google very quickly.
Because everybody's searching and seeing that link and clicking.
Well, I mean, it's link backs,
right?
So the link backs, the more link backs you have. So what I would say is, if you're doing any kind of online forums, be active in it.
Oh, yeah.
Join in, because it's all part of, it's play, right? But it's really work, because the more you do all this, the more you're building up those link backs. So you go in there, you put your link backs in, you put your signature, put a clickable URL in your signature, and that's going to create all those additional link backs.
And we do that now within BelQuette. I mean, we do that. We're very adamant about having those, and being online and constantly posting and trying to keep our name in front of people's faces to get that response.
Now, I don't know if it's still, like back then it was very big. Now it's still big now, but I don't know if it would have had the same effect today as it did then, because of the way the algorithms have
changed, but still.
But it still does help, because it is any forms, anything. Like if you're going to go out there and make sure you put your Facebook, really what you're doing is you're putting your Facebook page, your business page. And they have what's called vanity URLs. Right, so vanity URL. So if you go to facebook.com/Jerid Hill, you'd actually go directly to my personal Facebook page, because the vanity URL is Jerid Hill. If you do BelQuette, you go facebook.com/BelQuette, it'll take you to our BelQuette page. So just because you register or sign up for Facebook and you have your business page there, it doesn't mean you're going to get that. So you, if I recall, I'm pretty sure you have to apply for that. And not apply for it. You just go out there and you tell it, and it says you can only do this one time, right? So you just go out there.
Because otherwise it'll be like #2382, you know, $111. It's so weird, just jibber jabber. So.
And it still works in the search engines, but it doesn't make it very easy to find. Right. So if you go facebook.com/BelQuette, it takes you right there. So I don't have to sit there and say all those, or I have to rely on links specifically. Right. So yeah, you can also make sure that in your signatures of your, you know, the different forms that you may participate in, you're going to go ahead and make sure you put your Facebook business page link in there as well.
Some forms, though, are a little bit more restrictive than others on what you're allowed to put into your signature.
Sure. And and again, you just have to. You just have to look what the form rules are. Most of them will at least allow some form of clickable signature. Right. What about Twitter? I mean, Twitter, Instagram.
See, mine are all linked together, so when I post on Instagram, it just shares it to the Twitter account. You know, I'm not a big Twitter guy. I don't really get it, but I know that I need to be on there. I know that I need to have a presence, and I peruse it ever so often and kind of see what's going on, like some things here, like some things there, share some things. But I'm not as active on that as I probably should be, like I am with Facebook and some of the other forums.
Well, I know when you're sharing, like on Twitter and stuff like that, you can, you know, obviously you create your hashtags for your search indexing, that kind of stuff. So, you know, I mean, I have a friend who had a cool saying he did, and he hashtagged it, and next thing you know, you go out there and you find it, and it's like everywhere. Wow. And it's just because, you know, that's the way you use it.
He should have trademarked that.
But well, I think he did talk about it, but I don't know if he ever did. Yeah. But you take that, and then you also point those back.
Sure.
Right? Point those back to your Facebook business page. So again, everything needs to funnel in somewhere, whether it's Facebook or not. But we kind of advocate Facebook just simply because it really is today's social media, right?
It's the yellow pages of the internet.
Right. So yeah, I would do that, and then on your website, you could also do like buttons, right?
Oh yeah.
So if you're going to your real website, and if you don't have a real website, then you should do that because you're not going to really garner much online presence without it anyway.
And you can do it cheap now. I mean, you don't have to go have this fancy $10,000 website built. You can just, I mean, Shopify even. Who cares? Just something to have something for somebody to go to and have some information on. They can buy a shirt.
Sure, and there's a lot of those services now, CMS, content management systems, those kind of things. They have plugins, extensions that will, when you hit like, it'll like it on Facebook and also be able to share it on Facebook. Yeah. Right. So if someone's on your site and they're liking, it could go right back to Facebook. So I would make
it's all out there for you. You know, we don't have to reinvent the wheel here. We just have to find these tools and use them to our advantage.
Right. That's it. So then you know also ads, Facebook ads. One of the things that people fail in Facebook ads is they put them out there, they throw a dollar amount at it, and they try to sell, right? But again, if we're doing Facebook ads, what's the focus? We want to go back to our Facebook business page, right? So one, we want to link it back there, and then you really want to try different ads. You want to try, you know, different things to see what they work. So you always want to try to change them up. You know, maybe weekly. Once every week or two, depending on the way the ads are performing. But as you start to fine tune and see what works better than others, then you can go ahead and cater that ad. So
this kind of comes back to the niche, though. I mean, you don't want to, if you're focusing on selling to the sneakerhead guys, there's no reason to have your ad pop up on wedding. Boutique stuff. I mean, it's just not. There's no point in that per se. But I agree with you. I mean, you got to throw a bunch of stuff against the wall and see what's going to stick.
Well, it's a matter of not necessarily who, because I agree. You want to cater to the people that your market. If you found that niche market, you want to cater to that. What I'm talking about more specifically is how the ad is written.
Oh, okay.
How it's worded. What images are you using? You know, if you go out there and you just put, you want to put out there and get really good quality designs out there, and you cater it to that market, that's fine. So you just have to figure out what the ad's going to say,
right,
and how it's going to say it.
Sure.
How's it going to draw them in? Right. And so
bait click.
Yeah. So
or clickbait.
Clickbait. But we try not to do clickbait. That's
no, because
that frustrates people.
Well, now it frustrates them. It frustrates Google and Facebook. They don't like that either. The administrators don't like that stuff either.
Right.
You start playing that game a little bit too much, and they'll start yanking
Well, a
your
lot
ads.
of times, yeah, Google and those type of search engines, they a lot of them know how to get, I want to say get around it, but you're not exactly rewarded.
Right,
put it
yeah,
that way.
yeah.
You're not rewarded for those
low
type of
level
advertising.
listings and stuff like
Right.
that.
So also on your website, the good idea is to have a very good detailed image. So what I would say is, if you're going to do a model, have a model out there, have a design, I would also put like an image on there that they can zoom in on or whatever, because I remember years ago a friend of mine, he said that good art sells, but great art really sells, and that's really true. Because when you take a design, and people are they need to see things, right? Yeah. They're not. I don't want to sit there and say people are unimaginative, but when it comes to designs, it's hard for people to imagine
visualize,
it, right? They can't visualize it, so they need that aid. So when you have a really cool design, a really awesome design, maybe it's a funny design, maybe it doesn't even have to be an incredible design, maybe it's just a word, whatever, it doesn't really matter.
A word.
The idea is to have a nice zoomed image as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But again, you can like it. Go back to the social side of it. Everything should really, instead of promoting your real website, you need to promote the Facebook page, and that will naturally flow to the website.
And you need to ask for people to like. It's just like asking for the sale. You have to ask for it. You can't just go into any. I don't care what it is. Go into a school with a T-shirt, and say, "Okay, guys, drop it off on the desk and turn around, walk out, expect they're going to call you." Right. You have to sit there and ask them. You ask people, please like and share our page. If you know somebody could use it, please let us know. And sometimes you can even set up affiliates where if you share this, if we have a really good thing or whatever, and you can get another big social media person that's got a lot of followers to share it on their page, all of a sudden I'll give you $1 a shirt that we sell through your affiliate program. Okay.
Well, it's interaction, right?
Yeah,
social media is all about interaction.
Absolutely.
And that's really the bottom line. And so affiliate marketing is something that, if done properly, can actually go over very well. Yeah. And there's a lot of plugins now on websites that you just go out there and you can get the plugins. It'll automatically create the affiliate marketing. OpenCart, opencart.com, that's actually an open source shopping cart. Yep. Now, you go out there, you put it together. It's very quick, very simple. A lot of web hosting companies now have
built-in.
Click one time and all of a sudden it's installed for you.
It's like WordPress and WooCommerce are all so
a lot of them
now.
do that. But OpenCart's really cool because I know they have an affiliate marketing program built right into it.
It's awesome.
And so people go in there and the affiliate is every time you set the rules. If you click on this link, whoever shares that link, they get a certain dollar or percentage, whatever you dictate,
right?
However far deep you want to go into it. Right. So, but again, that's all part of the idea is interaction on everything that you're doing, and social media is what it is today. And in times past, it wasn't like this. So it's hard if anybody's been into this type of thing for very long. It's hard for them to think any different because they're used to a certain way that works. But we have a whole generation of people that are not used to that, and they're used to the social side.
Yeah, it's get on board or get left behind.
Yeah,
I mean you have to.
So, anything else? I'm just kind of skimming over some of the stuff. Oh, you mentioned something that something you said kind of led me back to this is like contests.
Oh yeah.
Right. So you can do, like we do Guess the Shirt.
Right.
Right. So we have a guy, we don't really get anything for it. We're not selling anything. Well, we are, but
Yeah, wait.
not BQLive. But anyway, yeah, you can do contests. So now with contests, you have to be careful though, because not every some people want to do raffles. Not every state lets you do raffles, so stay away from that side
I
of
think
it.
Utah.
But the contest side of it, and pretty much the laws are that if you offer a contest, that anybody and everybody has the right to enter that contest, whether they buy something or not.
Right.
So I know that to be true. So don't do a contest where if you buy this, we'll put your name in a drawing. And you can't do that. You can say, buy this and we'll put your name in a drawing. And for those who don't buy, here's the methodology to enter to the contest.
I've seen commercials all the time for like that kind of win a free vacation, buy raffle tickets for $20 a piece, and if you do this, you get $10,000 more dollars to spend on tickets.
Raffle tickets are different, and those can be under classification of gambling.
Okay.
Right. So the laws are very different state to state. I don't even advocate getting into it.
Like
if that's your niche market, great. Get whatever state you're in. Yeah. Learn the laws very well.
Yeah, consult.
And it can be done well. Here in Florida, we can't.
Really?
And unless we're a 501,
501c3,
right? C3 or whatever it is.
Yeah. A nonprofit.
Right. So we have to be a nonprofit, and so we don't even mess with anything like that in the state of Florida. But so you just have to be very careful what you're doing. But if you're going to do giveaways or any kind of contest, make them fun. Some people want to do like design contests. Yeah, some people want to do Demachu. That's a good one. We can do that one. Some people want to do design contests, but what my experience has been, you got to be careful, because my experience has been, hey, design the next big shirt and you win $50, and they're like, you know what? I'm going to spend 4 hours designing, and all I'm going to get is $50.
And you make all the money selling the shirt.
Yeah. So make it worthwhile. If you're going to really do a contest like that includes some contribution on their part, give them a lot of shirts, give them money off of every shirt sale, whatever it is, make it worth their while. Right. Otherwise, nobody wants to do $50 a shirt very, very few people would do $50 a design, and they know they have to spend 4 or 5 hours, maybe even more.
And there's 200 people who have entered it, so you might not win anything at all.
Right. So anyway, the contest, but again, the contest can be done through your Facebook business page, and again, you share that, and the idea is to get people to share it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like Eric said, you can make sure that when you're out there and you're doing it, ask them to share it.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, the more people that share, the better the prize, whatever. For every share, the prize, every so many shares, the prize increases to this. Do different levels. Again, it's just a matter of thinking differently.
Yeah.
And how can you incite people to go out there and share.
Work for you, basically.
Right. And that's all part of social marketing. Again, it can be viral, where it's instant, pretty much overnight.
You can't plan that though.
No, you can't. But if your marketing is done well and done right, you actually could do very well for people. I mean, we know people that did that. The one, I won't mention names, but there was the car guy, somewhat local here. Right? Mm-hmm. And it wasn't even ended up being t-shirts. He started out with t-shirts, something else happened, and it was like wildfire.
Yeah.
And it just took off.
He spent a ton of money on ads though. But
he did, but again, there's so you just don't know until you try it. But again, that's why you're always fine tuning whatever you're doing to try to get that result.
Right.
And it's the stories are few and far between, the success stories. But the more you learn and understand it, the higher percentages of success you're going to get.
Absolutely.
So, but again, without going too much into detail, because there's so much to it, and I said we could literally talk for months on this. I think we're going to cut it off there. But in the meantime, I guess. I don't know if there was any questions. No questions.
All right.
Okay. And any winners?
All right. We stumped them.
Well, I don't know if our intention was to stump them, because if that's the case, you guys would have let me print some of the shirts that I wanted to. And you're like, no, it's too hard. It's too hard. Nobody's going to get it. Well, that was usually the producer
Yeah.
the producer.
Who's over there yawning right now?
Yeah,
So entertaining.
this was a very boring show for him. Unfortunately, though, this is Eric's last show.
Sorry.
So in honor of that, what I'm going to do is give a coupon away because it's his last show.
Oh man.
Okay, well maybe not in honor of him, but like
I'm
every
scared
show has a no. It's just our guess the shirt that nobody got. Again,
I feel like there's other
right?
motives.
Nobody got it, right? Okay. Go ahead and tell everybody what.
So this is 3 different wheel companies. This is Work, SSR, and a company called Weds. These are all Japanese brands of wheels. They're actually one of the higher end companies, but since nobody got it, they don't win.
I guess they don't win anyway.
They don't win anything.
Okay.
I'll take those swaps on with me.
All right. Maybe. We'll give you a little, like 5% discount. Oh, go get a 10% discount.
Hey, yeah.
Matter of fact, let's extend that 10% we would have given to you to everybody else as well. So if you go out on our website, www.belquette.com/store, anything in the web store, if you use this coupon wheels, you'll get 10% off. So all you have to do is add anything to your shopping cart. In the upper right corner of the cart, I think it says view cart. Click on that, and that's where you put your coupon at. And again, just put wheels in there. It's good for 1 week from today, and 1 week, right? It ends, and we'll give you 10% off of anything in the web store.
Now, some of our more astute viewers might have noticed that some of the other shirts I've worn over the last couple months has been Work Wheels shirts that I made. So you might have. I'm surprised we didn't catch that a little bit. But Work Wheels is my favorite brand of wheels. So.
Well, I never would have got it. So you would have stumped me too.
I didn't get the moof because I'm not an Apple guy.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's Google. You can Google that.
Yeah.
I see the word moof. You hit Google.
Yeah.
Moof. I'm sure that's how they got it.
I took a picture of this and tried to do the reverse image lookup in Google, and it came up with T-shirt. That was
okay.
it.
All right. So yeah, I mean, at this stage, I mean, again, we've had a good time. It's been 14 episodes. BQLive is not necessarily dead.
No,
I'm currently out of a job, but outside of that, we're looking at different ways of restructuring. And so, just follow us on our website, BQ.live.
Yeah, you're not getting rid of the website. All that stuff's going to stay archived, all these videos.
It's still going to be there. Just go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to, our newsletter and all that. And once there's anything additional, we'll put it out there for you so you know what to expect. We have some, probably some live demos of equipment that we'll probably be doing soon, those kind of things. But for now, we're still kind of trying to restructure. I mean, we do actually want to, wish Eric well. He's a good fit for BelQuette. It's just the circumstances arose where
when baby comes into the picture, everything changes.
Everything changes.
Everything changes.
And you can't say anything bad about that.
Yeah,
so.
I have nothing negative to say. I mean, it's been a great time. I really appreciate everybody here.
Yeah, so we actually do appreciate the time you've been here too, and. We do wish you well. I mean,
I appreciate that.
So again, we do thank you. Thanks for joining us, and just again, watch out for anything coming up. Just subscribe, and we'll let you know the updates. But as basically, we just want to give one last tribute to Eric Damon. All right.
Boy, here we go.
See you.
Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I would like to be.
You can fly higher than an eagle. 'Cause I am the wind beneath my wing.
And we wonder why. How are you going to replace me? Who are you going to be able to beat on like that and make fun of? And
there's lots of people.
I mean, that are willing to sit here and take it.
I don't know. We'll see.
That was good.
All right.
Thanks,
that was
guys.
Actually, you know what? One last thing I want to say. Dan Butzo.
Yes, thank you, Dan.
Thanks, he's one of our guys here. And Ali, I don't ever remember how to pronounce his last name, so we'll just call him Ali. And he's been here for a long time, and I still don't remember how to pronounce his last name. You?
No.
All right, there you go. Anyway, thanks again.
Thanks, guys.
I'm sure we'll see you soon.
Definitely.
All right,
Have a good one.